When Ethan chased after his white moonlight overseas, I begged him not to go, but he didn't even turn around. A year later I got married and Ethan flew back. Seeing my wedding ring, the always spoiled Ethan broke down. He forced a smile. "Lauren, do you want to take it off yourself or should I?" His voice trembled. "I'll buy you any ring you want. Just take this one off, please." My wedding was small, just a dozen close friends and family for dinner. My husband, bless him, didn't let me lift a finger, taking care of the guests while I chatted with my best friend. Zoe, my best friend, was quite emotional seeing me married. "I thought you'd wait for Ethan forever." I smiled faintly. "I thought so too," she said. "Does Ethan know you're married?" I shook my head. "No, and he doesn't need to know." She paused. "I heard Ethan booked a flight last night, went crazy, flew back from America overnight." I said nothing, probably because his white moonlight ran off again. Just like before, she had a fight with Ethan and ran to America. And he booked a flight right in front of me to chase after her. I was on my period that day, even wrapped in a blanket I felt freezing cold. I sat shivering in front of him, watching his long fingers tap decisively on his phone, booking a flight that night. I gritted my teeth and tried to keep him. "Ethan, can you not go?" Ethan's bright eyes looked at me, a careless smile on his face. "Stay home. I'll bring you back a gift." He lifted my chin, lightly kissed my lips, and tucked the blanket around me. "Necklace or bracelet?" I didn't speak. Ethan loved giving people jewelry. He'd given me tons but never a ring. He didn't give Lily many gifts but everyone was a ring. I took a deep breath, looking at his lean, handsome face, his pale skin, and still tried to hold him back. "Can you really not stay?" The smile faded from Ethan's lips. He patted my head. "You know what kind of relationship we have." I stood there speechless. I was the one who pursued Ethan. He had only one condition. Our relationship couldn't be public, especially not in front of Lily. Simply put, I was a backup. I had no right to stop him, even though we were living together, and he'd even brought me to family gatherings. Seeing I wasn't going to say anything else, he smiled and kissed my forehead. "Be good. I'll bring you a gift when I get back." I lowered my head. "When will you be back?" He stood up, slowly buttoning his shirt. "A few days, maybe." He probably didn't expect that this time. His white moonlight wasn't just going abroad for a break, she went to study, and he ended up staying for a year. I watched Ethan's tall, broad back as he left, sighing. As if sensing my displeasure, Ethan turned around. "Before I leave, think about anything you want me to do. I'll do my best." Looking at his face, I thought for a moment, "Can you help me look for someone?" "His name is Kai. He's a war correspondent." Ethan's face darkened. "What's your relationship with him?" "If it's unclear, I won't help." I pursed my lips. "My brother. My aunt's son." Ethan's expression softened slightly. He nodded. "Wait for my news." He turned and left. I watched his disappearing back, pulling out a photo from my wallet. The photo showed a lean, handsome man very similar to Ethan. I stroked the photo. Ethan was such a forgetful person. I told him I grew up in an orphanage. I didn't have an aunt. I also told him about the brother who took care of me in the orphanage. We grew up together, but he listened and forgot. He never suspected why I liked looking at his face so much. Only his face. Ethan really loved Lily, even though Lily's attitude was wavering for so many years, unwilling to settle down. He loved her wholeheartedly, and I really loved Ethan, his face, a face similar to Kai's. I was always grateful to Ethan. He saved me from a desperate situation. When I met him, I had lost contact with Kai for 3 years. Many people said Kai was dead. I was like a living corpse, lifeless, until I saw Ethan, my junior in college, 1 year younger than me. When I saw his face so similar to Kai's, I cried. I tried every means to get close to Ethan, unconditionally kind to him. Everyone knew I was Ethan's shadow, carrying his bags, his coat, buying things for him, relaying messages when he fought with Lily, helping him home when he was drunk, maybe because I was so good to him, so good that he couldn't ignore me. So one night, after a fight with Lily drunk, he pulled me into his arms. "You like me?" Looking at that lean, handsome face, I nodded. From that day on, I became Ethan's secret girlfriend. If a backup could be considered a girlfriend, this went on for years. Ethan and Lily didn't work out, but we ended up living together. Sometimes Ethan would hold me and sigh. "Lauren, you're the best woman to me. You don't even like my money." I smiled. "If you wanted to give me money, I wouldn't refuse. But you don't spend it." Ethan's bright eyes stared at me. "You don't wear my jewelry. You don't pressure me to go public." He said, "Sometimes I even feel like you're using me as a backup too." I scratched his nose and buried myself in his arms, laughing. Backup or not, it didn't matter. People aren't trees. We had already spent 6 years together. Those 6 years were important to me. But Ethan didn't think so. Ethan still loved Lily so much. If Lily called him late at night after a drink, he would immediately get dressed and go pick her up. Before, Ethan would leave without explanation, but later he started to explain, showing guilt. I thought it meant I was starting to become different in his heart, but I was wrong. He still chased Lily overseas without giving me a chance to hold him back. He was gone for a year. Ethan actually came back once during that year. He was drunk and he asked me to pick him up. When I picked him up, he was sitting in a nightclub VIP room, video chatting with Lily. Seeing me, he waved. "Lauren, come here." He showed me to Lily. "Let me introduce you. This is my girlfriend of 6 years, Lauren." Lily still had a cold expression, but her eyes scanned me, pausing on my face for a few seconds. Then she smiled. "Ethan, you've changed your mind?" Ethan also smiled. "Yeah, why would I leave my gentle and virtuous wife to chase after your cold shoulder?" Lily saw Ethan hugging me and asked how long we'd been together. I answered honestly, 6 years. Lily hung up the video. The always proud Lily lost her composure without even saying goodbye. Ethan's arm around me stiffened. That night, Ethan was hugging me to sleep. He took a call in the middle of the night, came back and kept kissing me. Didn't sleep all night, just kept looking at me. In the morning, his voice was hoarse. "Lauren, it's over between us." I didn't sleep all night either. I guessed it. I heard Ethan's phone call. Lily lightly told him to break up. She said she would get back together with him immediately as long as he did. I knew I wasn't as important as Lily. I nodded, not wanting the scene to be too ugly, turning my back and wiping my eyes. Ethan hugged me from behind so tight I could hardly breathe. He whispered in my ear, Your aunt's son, I have news. He's not dead. He just has amnesia, he's overseas. My whole body froze. I turned around. Can you bring him back for me? Ethan kissed my lips. I can. It's what I owe you. That day, he flew to be with Lily, and I a few days later met Kai. In the best hospital in the country, the best experts were treating him. Soon his memory returned and he remembered me. Kai was injured and lost his memory while saving a child in a bombing zone. When he woke up, he hugged me immediately. A gentle voice echoed in my ear. I was gone for 10 years and I made you suffer. My tears immediately flowed. My empty heart was quietly filled. Kai and I missed 10 years. We didn't want to miss another 10. We got engaged soon. Kai also asked me if I had fallen in love with someone else in those 10 years. Not to make an impulsive decision that I would regret. Ethan's face vaguely flashed in my mind, but it quickly disappeared. I shook my head and smiled, saying no. I stroked the scars Kai got saving a child in the war zone and repeated, no. Before Kai asked me, I had a few dreams and Ethan was in them. In my dreams, Ethan sneered at me, telling me not to get any ideas. My heart still ached, but as time went on, I no longer dreamed of Ethan. Those 6 years seemed to have vanished with the wind. Zoe, my best friend, would sometimes ask me if I still thought of Ethan. I was silent for a few seconds, shaking my head. I hope he and Lily can be together, I said. It's best for both of them to forget each other. At least I had honestly and completely forgotten him. But a few days later, when Kai and I were having dinner, we ran into Ethan's classmate. He greeted us from afar. Hey man, you're back in the country, why didn't you call? He stopped a few steps away looking shocked. Kai was very similar to Ethan, but he had a scar on his brow from the war zone. Their temperament was completely different. He didn't have Ethan's frivolous and spoiled air. He was more hardened and composed. The classmate looked at Kai, then looked at me with suspicion. Lauren, he thought for a moment. Did you put Ethan in the friend zone? I shook my head. We broke up. The classmate was even more surprised. Didn't Ethan say you were still waiting for him? I interrupted him. This is my fiancé, we're getting married soon. He was stunned, looking at Kai and me holding hands tightly. He turned and hurried away, making a phone call as he walked. I looked up to explain to Kai, but before I could speak, Kai smiled. It's all in the past, why mention it? He helped me arrange my hair. I can't expect you to wait for 10 years just because I disappeared for 10 years. My eyes welled up, suddenly feeling overwhelmed with grievances. The 3 years when I couldn't find Kai, I waited by the phone every day. My phone was on 24/7. I would jump at every unknown call. In the first year, I hoped to receive a call telling me that Kai was only injured and would be back soon. In the second year, I hoped someone would tell me Kai was still alive. In the third year, I started to fear the phone, yet I had to answer it. When Ethan appeared, I was officially diagnosed with severe anxiety and panic disorder. His face was the last straw keeping me alive. Being a backup for Ethan wasn't easy, but I couldn't leave that face. Only by looking at him could I have the strength to live. So whether I loved Ethan, I didn't know. But I was grateful to him, so grateful that even though everyone laughed at me for being a backup, I still accepted it. For me, those 6 years, Ethan was a good man who saved me from a desperate situation. I thought my impression on him would be good. At least I'd be considered sensible. But I didn't expect him to grit his teeth and call me a liar. The copyright of this content belongs to RealNovel.